All right, so now we've covered the features of Git, the uses of Git. Now let's talk about the different places we can have Git, and a lot of the misconceptions that people have about what Git really is. So as we've discussed, Git is the software that allows us to do source management or version control, as other people call it. Now, one common misconception is that GitHub is Git, or Git is GitHub. The reality is Git is the software that allows us to push and pull and manage repositories. GitHub.com is actually just a provider in the cloud for people's repositories. In other words, they are simply a company that allows people to sign up for an account and actually create repositories on a virtual server instead of needing to set up their own server locally to house their remote repositories. Instead, you're getting repositories in the cloud from GitHub.com, and they have a Git server up there to manage the repositories. They are not actually Git. Git is just the software we use to manage repositories, and GitHub is a provider. And on top of that, there is another provider out there called GitLab, and GitLab does the exact same thing GitHub does. It allows people to sign up for an account in their service and then set up and manage remote repositories and then pull down those repositories, do your changes locally, and then push any changes back to that remote repository. That way you have something off-site that has a complete copy of your repository. In interviews, in school, on your portfolio, your resume, you will hear people ask for your GitHub account ID or your username or your handle for GitHub. And really what this is that it is the account name that you get when you sign up for GitHub, and it is the account under which people can locate any of your public repositories. The cool thing about GitHub and GitLab is that they allow you to have private repositories that only you or a specific team can get to push and pull software changes, but they also allow you to have what are called public repositories, or repositories that you want to share with anybody. And so you will hear or be asked for GitHub account information or username, and what people are really asking for is a way to get to all of your public repositories in order to see how you code, and what you have out there, or what you have done in open source projects. And the same goes for GitLab, because GitLab and GitHub do the exact same thing. People may also ask for GitLab or your GitLab username so that they can get to your public repositories. If somebody asks for your GitHub but you're using GitLab, you can always refer them to your GitLab with that username, and they get exactly what they would get if you were a GitHub user.